It's not where I am. What's going on here? I'm right here. There we go. I'm already neck hurting. My goodness. I'm gonna go to the chiropractor. wonder if I can combine all of this into one function, or one state rather. We could have because in the strafing state, we just say strafing y.emit. If input.isAction pressed evade, we go to a strafing state, and then the strafing state can say the strafing, or the dodge state will go into the random direction or input direction. Yeah, just need a dodge state. Because these are doing the exact same thing. The only thing extra is going to be the animations, which I could check with the input direction. I'll try that. I'm gonna try all that first. So we're going to get rid of all of this. We're only going to have a dodging state. So get rid of this. 2 dodging. Dodging. Yeah, dodging. And this event will be so we're going to delete all this. We're just going to have a dodging state. We'll see if this works first. So target locked needs a new atomic state. This will be dodging. Dodging state. To dodging is going to go to dodging. Event. Dodging. And then dodging will transition back to idle combat. Idle combat to idle combat. Okay. Comment all this out, and now we need dodging state entered. First we get a velocity. Velocity dot y equals 5.0. We can tweak it later. Move and slide. strafing state. This is going to be our dodging state. And physics processing for our dodging state. Physics process is going to get the direction to target. It's going to calculate the tangent. It's going to get the input direction, calculate the movement direction, and then move with a velocity if it's on force out of an idle combat, move and slide. So all of this, all of that in there. I'm gonna just get rid of all that, or we'll comment it out for now. And here we don't need any of this. All we need to be checking for is if the evade input was pressed. Yeah, if direction, and then if transition to dodging state. I'll put this at the bottom actually. Transition to dodging state. If input dot is action just pressed evade state chart dot send event dodging. So that will transition to the dodging state anytime evade is pressed, and then the dodging state will dodge in the appropriate direction. So this should work for every single direction now, hopefully. Let's see if it works. So we've got our enemy box, lock on, dodge right, works, dodge left, works, dodge back, works, dodge forward, works. Look at that. Nice. We have our dodge movement working. clip it here. Okay, so we can go from strafing to dodging. Now let's work on the animation. We need a dodge animation. So I have a dodge pose. I'm hoping this will work. We have a dodge back pose, dodge forward pose, dodge left pose, dodge right pose. So let's stick these into the animation tree. Never really worked with a pose in the animation tree before, so we'll see how this works. Okay. Dodge. Which one should we start with? Dodge forward and then back. Dodge forward. Dodge F and M. We'll say pose. Dodge. Dodge B pose. Dodge. Dodge right pose. And finally a dodge left pose. Dodge L pose. Okay, and we need blends for all of them. Blend 2, dodge F blend, dodge B blend, dodge R blend, dodge L blend, plug them all up. Into the output, okay. Everything's all up. Now if I turn this up to 1, whoa, nope, just 1. We gotta dodge forward. If we turn this to 1, we gotta dodge back pose. If we turn this to 1, we should get a dodge right pose. And then if we turn this to 1, we should get a dodge left pose. Perfect. Okay. Which means we're gonna have to add 4 more vowels. Dodge F val equals 0.0. Copy. Dodge B val, dodge R val, and dodge L val. And now we also need to add more to our enum. strafe, strafe, sorry, no, dodge, dodge, forward, dodge, backward, dodge, right, dodge, left. Okay, there's our enum. We're gonna have more signals to connect to. Let's do that right now. Signal, dodge, forward, signal, dodge, backward, signal, dodge, right, signal, dodge, left. Okay. We need to emit these signals down here. Based on the input. So we're going to transition back to idle combat here, and then I need to... Hey, thanks for the follow, Caffeine 8 Ore. Yo, I'm generating statues for new followers if you want. Are you interested? You could generate a statue and put it in the game. We want this to be dodging right. Oh, that's a signal name. How goes the Godowing? It's going. I'm enjoying it. Would you like to see the game so far? Dodge forward, dodge backward. Dodge right. You'd love to see the game? Alright, let me just finish up these 2 lines of code. Dodge backwards so I don't get errors when I run it. Dodge forward. Okay, I'm working on the dodge right now. So I'm just working on the functionality still. So if I play it, here's our little character. Can move around. I'm working on the dodge functionality right now. So right here I have a cube that I'm pretending is an enemy to lock onto. So when I hit tab, I lock onto the enemy and I can strafe around it. And then when I press space, dodge, it will dodge left and right and forward and back, which is what I'm working on right now, tweaking it a little bit. You can unlock. I've also built some of the terrain. It's not completely done, just kind of messing around with the terrain. And I've been working on some enemy AI over here. Let me see if I can get to it. So I have an enemy kind of moving around over here. Well, I don't know why I said AI. It's not really AI. I definitely coded it all myself. I guess enemy intelligence a little bit. So it's kind of just picking a path, picking a random path in this area and moving around. Let's see if I can find it. Should be moving around these hills somewhere. There it is. Hello, Mr. Enemy. Yeah, so the goal right now is to be able to lock onto this enemy and dodge around it. Oh, you working Godot as well? Working on a character controller? Yeah, the character controller is one of the most important parts of the game for sure. Let me generate you a little statue for the game since you followed. So I got two styles here, emote style or semi-realistic style. Caffeine. Semi-realistic? Okay. I'm mostly a 3D modeler, but the New Year's resolution is to branch out and make a game. Hey, if you're a 3D modeler, you have crap ton of skills already, so yes, you should definitely learn how to make a game. Put your 3D modeling skills to use, right? Okay, so if you want a statue, give me some ideas. So like, do you have, like, what do you want your statue to look like? Do you have any hobbies? I made a statue for a follower yesterday. He wanted it to be a cat. I don't know if it was a he. Maybe it was a she. Like, for example, I could make it emote style basketball. You wanted semi-realistic style, so like, if you're into basketball, something like that. Or if you're into something else. Just let me know what you want your statue to look like. We'll see if we can get it going. You want your statue to look like Thor, like the god of thunder, but not as muscular and holding a guitar. We could try that. That's interesting. Same style as the image above, but change the statue to look like Thor, the god of thunder, holding a guitar. No, that's perfect. Let's see if Gemini can generate that image for us. All right, how about this? What about that? Caffeine, how does that look? That's pretty awesome, not gonna lie. Lose the helmet. How about that caffeine? Yeah? You want that? Alright, let's, I'll generate the statue and put it in game for you. So let's download this. Caffeine 80R. Alright, I got that generating. We'll see how it turns out. What's the per count on the auto-generated statues? About 50,000, but I am creating, like, I'm not putting the statue, right, for now, I'm not putting the statues, like, directly in this game scene. I'm putting it in a different scene. So the statues won't slow down this main game scene right now. Yeah, for very simple objects, definitely don't use AI. I mean, I don't recommend using AI for any. If you're making a game, I don't recommend using AI for anything. I'm just doing it for these like little gimmick statue things. And if you have 3D modeling experience, then definitely use that. Don't use AI. Yeah, everything in here I did not use AI. Everything you see here was 3D modeled in Blender. I used Blender. My little character right here, definitely not AI. Blender is your jam, for sure. Blender's awesome. Such a great tool, so many uses you can do with it. Alright, where was I? So I think I have the code set for the dodge animation. I'm trying to get the animation going. I think I just need to add it in here now. I need to connect to the signals. Yep. Global.player node. dodge right dot connect on dodge right, something like that. On dodge right, on dodge forward, dodge backward, dodge right. So I've learned a little trick for making low poly trees. I've been thinking of making a YouTube video about it. But yeah, trees can definitely annoyed me at first as well. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make low poly trees, and I think I've come up with a good way. I've tried it out a little bit. I need to work with it more, and then I think once I get it down, I'm going to make a YouTube video about it. Looks like your statue has finished. Came out pretty well. I'm gonna move it into the game. Captain 8OR. Yeah, I was thinking that too. If my stream gets popular enough, I will have to re-topo the statues. Yeah. Decimate and bake. I could move them all. I could move them all to Blender and then just do like the decimate modifier in Blender, right? Though that would mess up the texturing that I'm getting. So I would have to retexture it all. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when I get there, I guess. If I get there. I don't know if my channel will blow up or anything. We'll see. Let's see if it came out well. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's comment this out. Hey, look at that. Majestic. You're the second one, Caffeine. Look at that. Beautiful. Thor holding a guitar. I love it. Looks great. Very unique. How long have you been learning Blender, Caffeine? (2016) so what, 9 years? That's a lot of time. You should be pretty good at it by now, right? You should be all set to make a game with it. You just gotta learn the game engine. That's the problem, you gotta learn that game engine. Well, I highly recommend Godot. I think Godot is really fun. I really like its node system. I recommend Brackeys. I don't know if you've heard of Brackeys on YouTube. He has some really good tutorials for Godot. Makes it very fun and interesting. A Growth Pro 05, are you in the chat? I could generate to you a statue if you wish. Thanks for the follow. Why are you boycotting Unity? Did they offend you? Unity does take a percentage of your revenue from a game, right? Do you know what percentage they take? Something like that. I don't think it's like a one-time fee. I know Godot is completely open. Godot won't take completely open source. I'm pretty sure Unreal Engine, they won't take a percentage until you reach like a million in revenue, which I think is awesome. That's awesome by Unreal Engine to do something like that. They changed their TOS. What does TOS stand for? This script is getting so long for the animation. This is very repetitive, but it works. And it's organized, so I'm going to keep it. Dodge forward, dodge backward, okay. Oh, terms of service? Like, did they... How much does Unity take from developers now for using their game engine? Wow. You're gonna forever boycott them? Yeah, I know, I think Unreal takes like 5% once you reach 1 million. Which I think is perfect. I think all engines, I think Godot should do that, honestly. I'm surprised Godot's giving this out for free. I think a percentage once you reach 1 million is perfect. Unity offended you, huh? I've actually never tried Unity. So I tried Unreal for a little bit, didn't like it much. I like Godot a lot more. I might try Unreal again in the future. I think Godot is a lot more fun to use. I feel like Godot makes game creating a game in itself. It feels like a puzzle that I'm putting together, you know? With all the nodes. Alright, I'm almost done with this, and then we can see if the dodge animation worked. Lots more code I'm adding. Dodge forward should be lerping to 1. Dodge B should be lerping to 1. And dodge right should be lerping to 1. Dodge left should be lerping to 1. Finally, we have to update the animation tree. If you could get Unreal installed, you might main them instead of Godot because of their lighting. It is, you mean like your computer can't handle Unreal? Yeah, Unreal Engine is definitely a lot thicker than Godot, for sure. They have great lighting though. I did like that when I was using Unreal Engine. In fact, when I was using Unreal Engine, it never crashed for me, but it took up like so much of like the computer's memory that I couldn't even, like, when I was using Unreal Engine, it took forever to like load the file explorer. So it definitely slows down your computer a lot when you have it open. You don't know enough about Linux to install Unreal? I don't know anything about Linux either. Can't help you there. Yeah, every tutorial is slightly wrong. Like YouTube tutorials aren't working for you? Okay, I think this should work. Let's see if the dodge works. The dodge animation. It never works on the first try though, so not expecting it to work right now. There's always a bug somewhere. So I'm walking, I can lock on target, I can strafe around it, still fine, and if I press space... Oh! Wait, did it work? Wow, look at that. Everything worked exactly how I wanted it to first time. I just need to adjust little things about the dodge, like we're in the air way too long there. But look at that. We've got a dodge mechanic with animation. Dodging around the enemy. Nice. Oh, something happened here. Huh. So when I'm holding down 2 keys, it doesn't do the dodge. So I'll have to adjust that a little bit, I think. YouTube tutorials aren't working either. You prefer Godot? I prefer Godot. I highly recommend Godot. I love it. I haven't had any issues with Godot. But Unreal Engine does have its perks with its awesome rendering and lighting. I think you can make the lighting in Godot to look just as great though. Almost just as great. It has volumetric fog that works great. Right now I have volumetric fog off. If I turn it on, let's see how this looks. So here's the volumetric fog in Godot. A little bit of it. I'm so glad this dodge worked correctly on the first try. Look at that. So what do you think? I think I'm in the air too long on the dodge. Let's see if we can change that easily. I can get rid of all this. Don't need that no more. What if we did a velocity of 4? Yeah, dodge animation needs to be faster. I'm just glad I could get the animation working. We're still in the air too long. It's a little bit better. Still think we're in the air too long though. This looks pretty good for now. It's a quicker dodge, right? The problem with the way I have the dodge set up though is the dodge animation doesn't end until you hit the ground. And that's not going to work. Because, so like if I dodge right, the dodge animation ends as soon as I hit the ground. But that's not going to work because what if I'm on a ledge like this and I dodge back? We're going to be dodging forever like that. Or if I'm on a hill right here and I dodge back, the dodge animation is really like quick. Like right now I'm dodging and it just doesn't work. So I need to figure out how to end the dodge a different way. Because right now the dodge ends as soon as I hit the ground. I need to figure out a different way to end the dodge without it being relying on hitting the ground. Probably like a timer. I could set up a timer. Like a 1 second timer. As soon as that timer ends, then the dodge ends. Hey, Toby. Story position at the start of a dodge. Stop at the distance being something, but that would break near obstacles. Use a trip animation. If he doesn't dodge onto flat ground, punish the player for not being environmentally aware. That's an option. That's an option. So for I don't think that would work though, because I would have to make sure there's like lots of flat parts in the terrain. And I don't really want to do that. But that is an option. What did Toby say? Story position at the start of a dodge and stop at the distance being something, but that would break near obstacles. I'm not really understanding what you're saying there, Toby. Mic sensitivity is too high. Do I need to turn on my mic? How's that? Does that sound better on the mic? Hey, Growth Pro, if you're in chat, I'll generate a statue for you. Thanks for following. I think the best way to fix this dodge is to do a timer. Because right now, if we look at the dodging state, it transitions back to idle combat as soon as we hit the floor, right? So what if I just don't transition back to idle combat for a certain amount of time? I could put a timer in there, like a 1 second timer, and once that timer times out, then we go back to idle combat. And actually, I don't even think I need to put a timer in there, because this state chart add-on, which I love, just has a delay, a guard. So we could transition to idle combat in 1 second. In 1 second, and then I'm going to comment this out for the time being, see if that works. Let's see if that did anything. 1 second might be too long. So let's lock onto the target, dodge. Yeah, 1 second is definitely too long. Look at us, it's sliding on the ground now. So we could change that time, but I think that might work. Just time how long the dodge is supposed to take, give it a little plus or minus around that time. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect flat. So I think a timer would work. Maybe 0.5 seconds. How long does a dodge take? 0.5 seconds. So that's 0.5 seconds right there. I think it's a little too long. But now if we dodge off this cliff, it should still be 0.5 seconds, right? Yeah. So the dodge is the same length. So a timer was the play there, I think. What about 0.3 seconds? I like 0.3 seconds for now. And since I did that, I can also increase the velocity back to like 4, so we can get some more air, make the dodge look more interesting. Ooh, what was that? Oh, yeah. I don't think that's gonna work. Look at that, we're like floating in the air for a second. I could increase the gravity though. I kind of like how we're in the air a little bit longer. Let's just increase the gravity maybe. Gravity, where's gravity? Double the gravity. Sounds like you're doing timer anyway, so the trip punishment can be a stretch goal. A stretch goal? What do you mean by stretch goal? You want to make a game to make the player suffer. That could be fun. Players definitely suffer in Souls-like games like Elden Ring. I haven't even set up much combat yet though. I don't know what I'm going to do for combat. I have some ideas for abilities for our player character. I have some pretty good ideas for like some skills or abilities it can use in combat. Let's see if double the gravity helped a little bit. Goals are just the minimum viable product. Stretch goals are all the extra bells and whistles after you have something functional. I'm not familiar with much gaming terminology. So a goal could be like your main objective, a main boss you need to defeat, and a stretch goal is just like a mini dungeon maybe? Other things you can do? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to add a bunch of little things to the game. I need to finish the main objective first, though, for sure. So, the whole, like, goal for this game is... It's supposed to be a little spooky. That's why I have it set in the night. And I want there to be like a demon that's inhabiting a house, and you need to defeat the demon by solving a few puzzles. That's kind of what I have so far. Not much. Something like that. But this is the first game that I've actually like worked on hard, like dedicated a lot of time to, because I want to get something out there. So there was an issue with the dodge animation. Let's see what it was again. If I lock on, here's working. But if I hold down arrow and side arrow and dodge, it doesn't do a animation. How could I fix that? Probably just a conditional in there somewhere. Right, so now, so right now I'm holding back and side, and it doesn't show an animation when I'm dodging. It only shows an animation when I'm only holding one of the keys. I think the X velocity should be higher as well. I think it's 15. This 3. That feels a lot better, increasing that X velocity and Z velocity. Feels much more erratic, like you're actually dodging out of something. Player hats would be a stretch goal, yeah. Gotta defeat the demon by getting him disbarred. Yeah. I was thinking like having like there to be like certain like shield generators that's protecting this demon somehow, something like that, and you have to destroy the shield generators, and then you can actually fight the demon to get him out of this house or whatever. I also have a labyrinth set up, like a whole maze that I set up in a different game that I'm probably going to include in this. That'd be cool. A little bit of a stretch goal, I guess. Lawyer joke, you're a lawyer? Oh yeah, I guess I didn't understand what you meant by disbarred. So right now the lock target is the cube. I'm going to try to set the lock target to like an enemy now. Combat mode target is the test node.global position. We want the combat mode target to be an enemy. And we want the target to only be an enemy within range. So I'm going to have an area around the player. So I'm going to have to at an area. We'll call this lockable range, I guess. Lockable range area, or combat lock area. Combat lock area. This is monitoring. It is monitoring for enemies. Yep. Use a collision shape. We'll make it a sphere. So this area is going to be the area at, like, the range at which we can actually lock on a target. How big should this sphere be? Like 30 meters maybe? 30 meters. What about 50 meters? Let's make it 50 meters. So we can lock on a target from 50 meters away. We have our enemy in a group called enemies. So if we hit tab, if we hit the lock button, where's our target unlocked? If input.section press tabbed, state chart.send event target locked. We only want to do target locked if the combat lock area detects an enemy. That is the goal. How should I do that? So if this area is entered and it is an enemy, then we'll have a variable called can lock. So var can lock. Can lock. Sure. Can lock. Boolean equals false. Yeah. Var can lock. And we'll say if this combat lock area is entered, body entered, and the body dot is in group enemies. If body dot is in group enemies, then can lock equals true. So we can lock onto an enemy. And then if the body exits, combat lock area. If the body exits, if body dot is in group enemies, can lock is false. So, if can lock is true, we can lock. If input that is pressed and can lock, then we can lock on the target. Let's test this out. I'm not going to lock onto the enemy yet. It's going to still lock onto the box, but we can at least see if it detects the enemy, if the area I just made detects the enemy. So let's move the player to the enemy. Play that. We'll see if we can actually lock. Like if the area detects the enemy, we should be able to lock. Alright, if I hit tab, I lock. Correct. Now if I get far away from the enemy, I should not be able to lock. So let's get at least 50 meters away from the enemy. I don't know how far 50 meters is. This has got to be about it, right? If I hit lock, I can't lock. Correct. Alright. Another milestone. Alrighty. Cool. Now this is definitely not going to work if I have multiple enemies in there, so I'm going to have to change some things about that. But that is a task for another day. I'm going to end stream. I am tired. Alright. Good progress made. Simplified the dodging a lot. Cool. Good night, Caffeine. Thank you for chatting. Makes things more interesting for sure.